All right, so thank you again, Basil and Mina, for joining this small project. And right now, we want to talk about all the things surrounding the Gaza war. I appreciate every opinion that you make, and hopefully, we can have time to answer more questions. So let's get started with the questions. First with yourself, and once we're finished, we're going to go with Mina. Um, what's the current state of the war inside the Gaza Strip, from your point of view?
All right. So I'd like to first begin with a small criticism on the term war. Had it been, between two parties actively fighting each other, then it would be more fair to call it that. But it's an offensive on civilians, and people are starving, and multiple organizations have already declared it to be a genocide. So, from my point of view, it's not a war, it's straight up starvation and genocide. And that is the situation. It's still ongoing. People are struggling to get food, to get by, and they're being indiscriminately shot in the streets, in the rubble, wherever they are, and displaced consistently. And no one is in their home. No one has a home in Gaza anymore.
All right, thank you for your answer. And yeah, that's true. It usually, when using the term war, we usually think that there are two countries actively hitting each other. But
Mhm.
the truth is, as you mentioned, um, the information about Hamas and all the things that's happened in 2023, for me, it's like a some kind of bad way to justify the acts that are being done by the Israeli government.
Mhm.
But so let's go ahead with the second question. Do you believe that any world leader is using the recognition of Palestine as a political strategy to win more social acceptance or credit?
I believe so, and I also think it's not just that. It's not specifically just that. There are many countries that have come forward saying that they are now willing to declare a recognition of Palestine as a state. The UK, France, Australia, Canada, Germany now trying to tease. And from my perspective, if you ask me as a Palestinian, uh, those recognitions do nothing for me or my people in Gaza or my people in Jerusalem or anyone here at all in a positive way. It does nothing. It's all, if they wanted to recognize Palestine, they should have done so ages ago, not when we were on the brink of being erased. So, what I believe is happening from these countries coming forward now is just, I guess, trying to fluff down the situation by saying, okay, good things are coming out of this, despite the fact that people are dying. See, now people are getting quote unquote rights. And it, it's sad to see it come at such a horrible time, honestly. And the thing with Germany and Friedrich Merz, I really doubt that they will do an actual recognition of the state. The conversation should be honestly to end the starvation, to end the occupation, to end the suffering first, and then we'll talk about political solutions and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I also heard some comment saying that um, during the daylight, there are some countries that are willing to accept the recognition of Gaza, but on the night, those same countries are selling weapons to Israel.
Mhm.
Um, Something like that, like financing the destruction of Gaza. So yeah, that's very interesting. I do believe, as I mentioned to you before, that it is some sort of political strategy more than uh, an actual recognition of a country in order to help them in the future. Okay, so let's go with the next question. What are the stances of the Arab countries that are surrounding Israel and Palestine? What are their opinion or their position about the Gaza destruction?
يعني يعني when it comes to the people, to the actual people living in all those countries in Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, all the Arab countries, not just the neighboring ones. Yemen, fucking Dubai, sorry for derogatory terms, but the people themselves, we know they are with the Palestinian people on this situation here. They feel for us. It's only human, it's only natural. The problem is with the politicians and the political stances of all the countries. They are able to exert pressure on Israel in order to stop the suffering, but they don't. Instead, Egypt closes the border and assists in this genocide. Jordan takes some of the blame too. They assist. I think they took down some missiles from Yemen and Iran, if I'm correct. Is that correct, Mina? You remember that?
Yes, yes, they have been defending Israeli skies from missiles from Iran and Yemen.
As if it's not defended enough with what the
One of the
Americans already يعني, pay for the Iron Dome missiles to protect from missiles already. I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, it only feels like Yemen is the only country that has any sense at all. And it's, يعني, vilified in the world stage right now for just being rampant Houthi terrorists. They forget that it's a country all on its own.
Yeah, so there is a clear difference between the people and the government of every Arab state, right? Like for me, sometimes it's hard to believe um, that there are so many Arab countries surrounding Palestine um, that are not helping the people that are being suffering the all the things that are happening right now. But I think that, of course, there are also some political reasons that don't let them go ahead and just help them. I also remember that there were some news saying that Israel was gonna bomb any ship that that would go near the Gaza Strip to help them or to give them any food. And yeah, I think that's pretty horrible, to be honest. But I don't know. Hopefully, someday they just decide to stop helping the genocide too. So let me go ahead with the last question for you, Basil. What are your thoughts about the future of this genocide? Do you believe someday close to this date it will change? Do you believe that the Palestinians will cease to be harmed? What are your thoughts on the future?
Honestly, and yeah, I really have no idea. I don't know. All I can do is hope, really. But I mean, what with what we've seen so far ever since not just ever since October 7th. That's not where things have started. It started long ago. It's not very hopeful, honestly. I really, I hate to say it, but it feels like the world in its entirety, not the people, mind you, just the people in control, the presidents, the leaders, the ones with the seats in the UN. Unless they gave up on the whole idea, and it's all right. Let the people die. It's okay. It's pretty bleak from my side, honestly. Not very hopeful.
No, yeah, I understand that. Trust me, it's like some massive international organizations with a whole lot of money to offer aid, but I don't know. It's like, yeah, very very hopeless most of the time to hear the same news. Also, before this interview, I was just looking at my phone and there was uh this post about the some minister of Israel saying that the gates of the hell uh, were open in Gaza because of the last bomb the bombing of the last day, that they destroyed um, a big tower in Gaza,
Hmm.
and they mentioned that the hell is coming to Gaza, something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like some really hard words for the people to hear, but nobody of a really big country, no world leader is really doing anything right now. So
Mhm.
yeah, I do share your perspective, Basil, and I thank you again for the answers.
No
So
worries.
now I guess we are going to go with Mina. I'm going to start with the same order. First, to tell me more about yourself, what's your full name, where do you currently live in? Then the second question, what's the current state of of this problem? Now we can call it what's the current state of the genocide inside Gaza from your point of view? Mm, does any world leader uses the recognition of Palestine as a political strategy? And then, what are the stances of the Arab countries surrounding Israel and Palestine about the Gaza destruction? And finally, what are your thoughts about the future of the war? So, do you have it clear, Mina?
Yes, yes, I do. My full name is Mina Husari. I am a Palestinian guy. I live in Palestine in the West Bank. I live in Ramallah as well. Ramallah, if you don't know, is the administrative capital of Palestine. Our official capital is Jerusalem. And this is like where our like base of the government is situated right now. I am lucky to be here in the sense that it is one of the safer cities in Palestine in general. And yeah, so for your first question, what is the situation on the genocide in Gaza right now from our point of view?
Yeah,
Uh,
just one thing before you answer. Is it possible to turn on your camera so we can have like a familiar face,
yeah,
like you know,
sure,
for the videos and stuff?
sure, sure.
Thank you so much,
So
Mina.
uh, for the situation in Gaza, I agree with my friend Basil. He said this is a genocide, and it is not just our opinion, me and Basil's. It is like internationally accepted that it is a genocide. Like a lot of organizations have accepted it as a genocide and have condemned Israel of committing war crimes and breaching international human rights acts. The situation in Gaza is really bad right now, especially after assassinating and killing all of the journalists in Gaza. A lot of the news we're getting is terrible, but most of the news we're not getting. This is a huge problem for the international community. We're getting less and less information about it. From what we know, uh, it's getting worse. They have already started their operation. I think it's called Gideon 2, Gideon's Chariot 2, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
which is it consists of basically like taking over Gaza City. The the Israeli officials, have been using extremist religious rhetoric to justify their actions in Gaza, as you have mentioned, opening the gates of hell. But there are like many other examples. You can look them up. There's a lot of like you can find these quotations everywhere on the internet nowadays. Check out their Minister of Defense and their Minister of I think most of them, like even the Culture Minister, has been like talking extremist like rhetoric. But yeah, uh, Israel has been condemned by a lot of organizations, a lot of countries for all of their crimes lately. They have been breaking more and more human rights and like committing more and more war crimes. And it is like discouraging to us to see that whatever Israel is doing, there is no one brave enough to like move in to stop them to do anything about it. Which takes us to the second question. Do I think about that the state recognition from Germany and from other countries is just used to gain like popularity with their people? Of course. You can't just say I will recognize the state of Palestine and not stepping in and stopping a genocide on their people. You can't just say I recognize the state of Palestine and you don't and you keep selling them weapons and like parts for their planes which they're using to like bomb civilians. Uh, Most countries are just showing some kind of sympathy just because the people are waking up, the people are rising. You can see it in protests all over the world, and you can see how these governments are treating their own people, even not just like talking about our people. You can see these countries, Germany, the police have been brutalizing protesters. The UK, I think they just arrested 400 new people that have been protesting in London, and like many other countries. So like these statements that of recognition, like they don't really add a lot. If you were saying, okay, we recognize you are a state, and yet we do agree that you should be eradicated, which is like the current situation. If you're selling someone weapons to kill other people, you can't just say, I recognize your right to exist. So like I think it's just a way to absorb some of the heat from the people to like lessen the stress of the people against their governments, especially Germany or Australia or like these countries. Do you think that they use recognition? Yes. Another question is the perspective of surrounding countries, right?
Yes, that's right. All the Arab countries surrounding Israel and Gaza.
So Arab countries it's a difficult question because like Arab countries are are different from each other. The Arab world is really big. It's expansive. It's just like saying all of Latin America, or like even like adding like Spain to the mix. You know what I mean? So like we all speak the language, we all have similar cultural values, but clearly like over the years, it's there's a huge difference between us. Countries in North Africa, such as Algeria and Morocco and Tunisia. These countries, like, they also speak the language. We have similar culture, but like they are far away from us. You can see a huge support for Palestinian causes there, but at the same time, you can see that the governments are not doing a lot. Countries like the Gulf countries are, to me and like to everyone around us, like you can tell like the governments are just terrible to the cause of Palestine. The people might be like allies, but the governments are not. You can see Emirates and what they're doing, the deals they're doing with Israel, Saudi Arabia, and like their constant harassment of Yemen, and like their wars on Yemen as well. Yemen is the only country I respect from the Arab world. Lebanon had it hard at the start of this genocide. Lebanon had a huge part in like pushing Israel towards like lesser and lesser acts, but like still, Israel has like superior military power, and it's backed by the US, which is the strongest military in the world. So like you can see a lot of the countries around us are like either afraid or terrified, or they've been bought off, especially Egypt and Jordan. Because like these two countries are surrounding us from the east and the west. Egypt just closed in like an energy deal with Israel, and Jordan has a lot of deals with Israel also, like energy and like many other deals. So like it's one of these situations. Uh, what else? What was the last question, if I'm
So,
not
last
mistaken?
question. Well, thanks again for all the answers. Those are pretty good answers. But the last question is more like a personal opinion on what do you think will happen in the future? Do you believe it will change? That someday they both races could be living free and on the same place, or what are your thoughts on the future in general, not just the Gaza destruction, but the whole Palestine and Israel problem.
So I think like when people talk about solution about our current situation, it's really hard to imagine a future where everything just is peaceful and nice and people live together, just because of the atrocities like that has been going on for like 70 years or so. Uh, I don't think the answer is just like I don't think the answer is just like either one side wins and eradicates the other. We've tried a lot of peace solutions, but every time it just fell off. Uh, I see we have only 2 minutes in the Zoom meeting, so I'll try to like be faster. Um, we must understand, even after the end of this genocide, even after it all ends, that it is not only like the problem with 2 or 3 people. It is not just Netanyahu and his government officials. You can see the polls, Israeli polls on like population and their I think on the genocide in Gaza. I think it's like about 60 or 80%. of people supporting the genocide right now. And that's like the problem here is the dehumanization of Palestinians and the imperialist mindset of them just like deciding to take over the land. So this is the main issue we should be fixing in order to continue towards peace talks. We should be fixing the mindset of like our right or their right over the land, and instead of that, work towards fixing or righting past wrongs and working together, I guess, towards a better solution. I guess also like built on justice and like quality, because like we all want equality. We can't be second-hand citizens in our own country. And yeah,